Hello. In today's tutorial, we'll learn how to find the combination of an array's values of a particular length. So let's get started. So so we have our script tag here. Sorry. Okay. Script tag here. So let's say we want to have an array, something like this. An array of 1, 3, 4, and 6. Okay, 1, 3, 4, 6. And we want something like 1, 3, 4 of a particular length. Let's say we want a particular length of 3. So we want like 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 6, something like this. Then we want 1, 1, 4, 6. Okay, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 6, 1, 4, 6. Then maybe 3, 4, 6, I think. Um, Something like that. Okay, 3, 4, 6. Okay. So yeah, a combination like this of length of three array three the length of three of it's a length of three array values. So how do you go about this? Okay. Um think about it this way. We can this method will involve recursion and okay, let me title it. Let me just say find possible combination of array values of a particular okay with a particular length. Okay. So how do we go about this? The idea is this. If we want a length of 3, which will be using in this example, a length of 3, that means we will loop across this array with 3 nested for loops, okay? So if we have 3 nested for loops, the first loop would, of course, cycle across the array. The second loop will cycle across the array, but we will switch the index, okay? So that means if this one starts with index of 0, the next loop will start with an index of 1. And the third loop, which is the last loop, remember is of 3. The third loop will start with an index of 2, something like that. But let's start this with recursion first. Okay, so I can see that's the array. So I can say let the length of ones, let the length of ones equals okay, let the length of ones. This length means okay, let me just say array length. So let me just say array length. We don't need this. Okay, we don't need this. So I can just say let's the length equals 3. Okay, that's what we want. Then we want something to we will need an array to copy the values. Let's just create an empty array here. Then we want to just have data. Okay, so this is how we about it. So I can see let loop equals function. We want to start an index. I'll explain briefly. Okay. And what I want is we want to establish a base case and the index will be the end. Okay, we have to terminate the loop at some point because it will be a recursion. And so we can just say here, we can just say base case. Okay, let's just leave that for now. Then what do you want to do? Okay, let's think about this. Once what we want is to we loop across this array and call the array. We'll loop across the array and call this function and call this loop function again and again and again, but modifying both the start and the index. Okay, we'll call this loop, but we'll just be adjusting the start and the index. Okay, first things first, let's start our loop. So this should be let I iterator be 0. We start from 0, but this 0 would be start here because we'll be passing it as a parameter to the loop function. So I can just let I equal start, which will be 0. Okay. Um, and to be less than the array length, okay, which is 4 in our case. Then we want an I plus plus, okay, then I can end this, and here I can say we will, let's see, okay, yeah, we will store, we will store the index, okay, we will access the index of the array, the elements with the index, okay, like this, and we will look this, just say I plus 1 and index plus 1, okay. So we'll start from 0, okay. So when you see a loop like this, okay, let's just call this recursion and uh, let let recurse, okay. Let's just call this recurse, okay. So as we recurse this, what we're doing is um let's see, start I starts from 0, okay. Start, we're going to pass 0 here, 0 will be here, this will be I plus 1, which will be 0 plus 1, and the index also will start from 0, so the index will be 1, okay. So that means the first for loop, this will be a nested for loop, because when we are calling the function, this is how we call the function, okay. We'll call the function like something like this. We can say recurse 0 0. What you observe is that this recurse is not also nested in a for loop. Pay attention. If we had another for loop, like, okay, let's say we had another for loop, okay, and we pass in this recurse here inside this for loop, okay. What this will do instead would be to create a kind of recursion that will be in that will break down the phases. In other words, the loops will not be nested. Like, the first set of loop will be a for loop. The second time to run will be a for and another for loop nested. The third time to run will be a for loop and another for loop and another for loop nested. That's how it will work if we are going to recurse inside a for loop. Okay, but if that's not the case, if that's not what we want, which is not what we want, obviously in this case, then what we'll do is only to call this recurse without nesting it inside a loop. In that case, what we'll have instead would be something like this: a for loop and a for loop and a for loop. It's not going to run the first time, the second time, and the third time. Hopefully, you understand that. A bit complex, but hey, that's why it's your question. So, yeah, that's it. What remains for me? Let me think. Okay, let me just think about this. Okay, so the first loop will be, like I said, will be a for. The second will be a nested for. A total. What we have now is just three nested loops. Three nested loops because we are looping across. Okay, the yeah, because let me see. Okay, I'm getting a bit confused now. Okay, let me see. How do we do this base case here? We have to find a way to pass in this array inside. Okay, okay, let me see. Okay, all right. Okay, so this end here, what we want to end at 3. Okay, so every time we want to make this nested. Anytime we get to the third loop, we want the base case to be established here, and that is when we push. That is when we push that is when we push the combined values. Okay, so this obviously would be length. Okay, which is the 3 we have here. Okay, then we will loop across the array, which is 4 times, because the array length is 4. So now what we want to do is to push, because now what is happening here is that as we are looping, the array index will be storing the values into R. Okay, and we'll be pushing the R here, yeah, like that. Okay, then after recursing, Then we can console.log data like that. Okay, so let me save and see what we got here. So I can just say OS and Control Shift I. Let me see. I like to dock my. How do we do this again? Okay, I want to dock to the page, not in a separate window. So yeah, I want to dock this to the right. Okay, so if I okay, so we have three. So definitely when we have want to see a problem like this, we can say we're getting the last updated values of the array because you know there's this pass by reference and pass by value JavaScript concepts. So for us to get the actual values when the array is being updated, we can just get a copy of that array. So this creates a clone basically. Yeah, typically we can just collect a clone of the array. And now what we have is 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 3, 3, 0, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. So there is a bit of a problem. We're meant to have three values. We're meant to have 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 3. So we're having a length of 4. So there's something that I'm not establishing properly here. Let me see. Let me see. So data dot push r slice index equals the length, which is 3, right? The length is 3 here. The length 3 I plus 0. So this index here. Am I getting it wrong? Data dot push r slice. Okay, let I equals that I array length. Ooh, let me see. Hold on. Let me see this. Let me see what do we have here. Oh, definitely not. Okay. Yeah, loop 4 times plus I plus 1. I start 0. Data push r slice. Length 3. Okay. Oh, no returning. Let me see. Take them to return this. Take them to return that, and let me see what I've got. So 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 3, 0, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I didn't make a return in my base case, which is why it looked and went into creating a length of 4 arrays. So yeah. So to explain this briefly, I think the best way to explain this is to just create another to just create a loop version for you. Let me just call it a loop version. Okay, if you see the loop version, I think it will be easier to understand. I can just say for can say for let me just do this. Okay, let me just okay for let's okay something like this. Let me delete this, copy this. Okay, um then copy this. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, now this is index. I will want this. Let this be index. Okay, let's just say so. Let's just call this one. Okay, index 1. Okay, index 2. Something like this. And let's call this index 3. Okay, copy, and copy that. Okay, so this index 2 would be index 1 plus 1. Okay, and this index 3 would be index 2, index 2 plus 1. Okay, so that way we're looking across the array the first time. Let me just delete this so I can have some more real estate to work with. So this would be looping across the array the first time. The second time Instead of starting from 1, we'll be starting from 3, and this third time we'll be starting from 4. So how it will work is this. Okay, this would look, we'll have 1 here. The first time we should have 1 here, and the second time we should have 3 here, and this third time here we'll have 4, then we'll have 6. Yeah, that's how it will be. So it will be 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 6. Then since we've exhausted, okay, let me just make it easier. Okay, data. Let me just, can I just comment this out? So what we want to do is I can just data dot push. I can just in an array I want to push index 1, index 2, and index 3. Okay, so if I come here and reload, oh, okay, console log that. So I can just see console.log data and end this, and let's see what we've got. Okay, so I got 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 3, yes, then 0, 2, 3. So we've exhausted moving in the last array. Remember, if you come here, remember I told you it's 4 and 6. We've exhausted that. So what happens next is that it will shift to the next array and start moving here. So what we have here now is 0, 2, 3. After moving here, this is exhausted. So it will come back to this next one and move. And we have 2, 3, 2, 3. That will be, yeah, 2, 3, 4. That's it. I think, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So that there you go. 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 3. Yeah, 0, 2, 0, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that should be it. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how it is. So yeah. So in the example, we are just getting the index number. Okay, but of course you can access the very values, okay, by just using the array itself, like okay, like just the array itself, then accessing the index. You understand? So that's just how we get the combination of array values of a particular length in JavaScript. Okay, I'm seeing you in the next tutorial. Okay, take care.